An International Development Organization Guide. Chapter 1. International Government Organizations, IGOs, and International Development Organizations, IDOs. 1. Major international development websites. libguides.northwestern.edu/IGO. libguides.northwestern.edu/IGO, comprehensive list of IGOs. lib.umich.edu/govdocs/intl.html. irex.org. devnet.org. un.org. unicef.org. imf.org. worldbank.org. unesco.org. idealist.org. devex.com. icfi.com. acfid.asn.au, Australian Council for International Development. acid-cida.gc.ca, Canadian International Development Agency. adb.org, Asia Development Bank. afdb.org, African Development Bank. aid.dfat.gov.au, Australian Agency for International Development, AUSAID. blog.goingglobal.com/international-development. cia.gov/library/publications/the-world-factbook/appendix-b.html, international organizations and groups, CIA World Factbook. citimairs.com, city mayors, news about city government worldwide. devex.com/en/jobs #advanced search, devex job search. dfid.gov.uk, UK Department for International Development, DFID. fpa.org/jobs/?act=jobs_list, Foreign Policy Association Global Job Board. gpo.gov/fce/browse/committee.action?chamber =house &committee =interrelations &collection =chrg plus =chrg, U.S. House Committee on Foreign Affairs, hearings, etc. gtz.de/en/index2.htm, Deutsche Gesellschaft für internationale Zusammenarbeit. idealist.org. idex.org/take-action/volunteer.php, International Development Exchange. international.gc.ca/international/index.aspx?lang=eng, Canadian Department of Foreign Affairs and International Trade. jica.go.jp/English, Japan International Cooperation Agency, JICA. libguides.northwestern.edu/IGO, International Governmental Organizations, Northwestern U. reliefweb.int, Relief Web, news on relief efforts around the world. sipa.columbia.edu/resources_services/career_students/current_students/career_students/career-international-development.pdf, Columbia School of International and Public Affairs. state.gov/p/io/rls/eva, list of job openings at international organizations. un.org, United Nations. undp.org, United Nations Development Programme. unsystem.org, United Nations System of Organizations, Index of the constituent parts of the UN. usaid.gov/careers/student-programs.html. usaid.gov/r_work, U.S. Agency for International Development, USAID. worldbank.org/IDA, International Development Association. International organization websites at careercenter.georgetown.edu/jobs internships/researching jobs internships/industry resources/international opportunities/multinational organizations. careercenter.georgetown.edu/jobs internships/researching jobs internships/industry resources/international opportunities/volunteering teaching working abroad. devex.com, devex, jobs and internships and information about the field of international development. interaction.org, interaction and alliance of 180 plus NGOs whose website includes resources and job postings. iocareers.state.gov/main/content/page/approved-international-organizations, international organization careers, international organizations as designated by the Department of State. globalnetworkinitiative.org/participants, NGO Global Network, NGOs associated with the United Nations. uia.org/yearbook, Union of International Associations Yearbook, a comprehensive resource of over 70,000 international organizations. wongo.org/resources.aspx section $NGO dir, Worldwide NGO Directory, search for NGOs by region of the world. sidw.org, Society for International Development Washington Chapter /SID Washington. uia.org, Union of International Associations. unfoundation.org, United Nations Foundation. ypfp.org, Young Professionals in Foreign Policy. ecfr.gov. crs.org/about/careers, Catholic Relief Services. jobs.iadb.org/en/students-recent-graduates, Inter-American Development Bank. icrc.org/en/who-we-are/jobs, International Committee of the Red Cross/Red Crescent. imf.org/external/np/adm/rec/recruit.htm, International Monetary Fund. nato.int, NATO. oxfam.org/en/work-oxfam, Oxfam International. undp.org/content/undp/en/home/jobs/types-of-opportunities/internships.html, UNDP. careers.un.org/lbw/home.aspx ?view type =IP, United Nations. worldbank.org/en/about/careers/programs-and-internships, the World Bank Group. who.in/careers/internships/n, World Health Organization. International organizations, some for profit, some not. afsc.org/jobs, American Friends Service Committee jobs at AFSC. amazonwatch.org/take_action/staffing, Amazon Watch team and staff opportunities. amnesty.org/en/jobs, Amnesty International jobs. amnestyusa.org/employment/page.do?id =1121001, Amnesty. ashoka.org/careers, Ashoka Careers. care.org/careers/index.asp ?care careers. christianaid.org.uk/aboutus/jobs/index.aspx, Christian Aid Work with Us. corpwatch.org, Corpwatch. cpj.org/about/jobs.php, Committee to Protect Journalists' Employment Opportunities at CPJ. crisisgroup.org/en/about/employment.aspx, International Crisis Group Employment. crs.org/about/careers, Catholic Relief Services careers at CRS. Development Jobs Center. developmentaid.org/jobs, International Development Jobs. devnetjobs.org, DevNet Jobs International Development Jobs. ecologic.org/join-us/jobs-internships, Ecologic Development Fund Work with Us. fao.org/employment/n, Food and Agriculture Organization of the UN FAO. freefromhunger.org/about/jobs.php, Freedom from Hunger Job and Internship Opportunities. greenpeace.org/usa/about/jobs, Greenpeace USA Jobs and Internships. habitat.org/hr, Habitat for Humanity International Jobs with Habitat. heifer.org/about-heifer/careers/index.html, Heifer International Careers. helpage.org/about-us/jobs, Helpage International. hrw.org/jobs, Human Rights Watch Employment Opportunities. humanrightsjobs.com, Human Rights Jobs. icmc.net/careers-icmc, International Catholic Migration Commission Careers at ICMC. Idealist.org. idex.org/about/vacancies, International Development Exchange IDEX, vacancies. iisd.org/about/employment.asp, International Institute for Sustainable Development IISD. imf.org/external/np/adm/rec/jobo/pppo.hdm, International Monetary Fund IMF. International USA Employment Opportunities. internationaljobs.org/hotjobs.html, international jobs.un.org, United Nations. jobs.undp.org, United Nations Development Programme UNDP Jobs. lulac.org/about/jobs, League of United Latin American Citizens LULAC. Employment and internship opportunities. maldef.org/about/jobs, Mexican American Legal Defense and Educational Fund MALDEF, career opportunities. nclr.org/index.php/about_us/jobs_at_nclr, National Council of La Raza NCLR. ndi.org/employment, National Democratic Institute for World Affairs ND. oas.org/en/pinfo/hr/job.htm, Organization of American States OAS, Employment, Consultancy, and Internship. okchar.org/en/about us/pages/work-study-opportunities.aspx, Office of Opportunities. opportunitynocs.org, opportunitynocs.org, Nonprofit Jobs. oxfam.org.uk/get_involved/work_with_us, Oxfam Great Britain. oxfam.org/en/get-involved/jobs, Oxfam International. oxfamamerica.org/whowe're/jobs, Oxfam America. padef.applicantstack.com/x/openings, Pan American Development Foundation PADF, Employment Opportunities. PAO.org, Pan American Health Organization PAHO. refugees-international.org/who-are/jobs-fellowships-internships, Refugees International Jobs, Fellowships, and Internships. reliefweb.int. solidaritycenter.org. Solidarity Center AFL-CIO, Jobs and Internships. The High Commissioner for Human Rights Work and Study Opportunities. transparency.org/whowe're/work, Transparency International. unctad.org/en/pages/about unctad/unctad-employment.aspx, unicef.org/about/employ, United Nations Children's Fund Employment at UNICEF. United Nations Conference on Trade and Development UNCTAD Vacancy Announcements. us.oneworld.net/jobs, One World Global Jobs. who.in/employment/n, World Health Organization WHO Employment Site. worldbank.org. worldlearning.org/employment, World Learning Employment. wri.org/jobs, World Resources Institute Careers at WRI. Chapter 2. International Government Organizations, IGOs, and International Development Organizations, IDOs, 2. International Organization Lists/IGO lists. IGOs are intergovernmental organizations, organizations like the United Nations, NATO, WHO and others that were developed by a conglomeration of countries to serve a worldwide function that goes beyond the jurisdiction of just one country. There are several books at the library that might help you locate international organizations like Encyclopedia of Associations, International Organizations, Europa Yearbook, National Trade and Professional Associations in the U.S., World Chamber of Commerce Directory, Yearbook of International Organizations. The following websites contain lists of international organizations. libguides.northwestern.edu/IGO, list of IGOs, intergovernmental organizations. 123world.com/organizations, source for international organizations. imvia.org, major health organizations. library.northwestern.edu/govpub/resource/internet/igo.html. lib.umich.edu/govdocs/intl.html, international agencies, a comprehensive listing of international governmental and non-governmental agencies. acdi-cida.gc.ca/virtual.nsf, list of international organizations. adminet.com. uia.org, Union of International Associations, non-profit clearinghouse for information on over 40,000 international organizations and constituencies. ala.org/ala/iro/intl association.org/conf/international.htm. asanet.org, American Society of Association Executives. dec.org. lib.umich.edu/govdocs/foreign.html. worldbank.org. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/international_organization. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/list_of_international_organizations. eurobrussels.com/index, lists lots of European organizations. faculty.philadelphia.edu/russol/russo.htm, world links, countries, and international organizations. firstgov.gov/agencies/federal/all_agencies/index.shtml. gale.com, 800-877 Gale, Encyclopedia of Associations, International Organizations. gwsae.org, Greater Washington Society of Association Executives. icac.org, Cotton Advisory Council. iisd1.iisd.ca/ic/sb/direct/sdone. ilo.org/public/english/comp/civil/ngo/relengos.htm. ilo-mirror.cornell.edu/public/english/comp/civil/ngo/relengos.htm. info.usaid.gov. interaction.org. intgovforum.org/adg_members.htm. irc.state.ky.us/other/internet/bmiller.htm. isoft.ch/genevagide/org/phil/inx/io.html. itu.ch/missions, addresses of some international organizations. lib.msu.edu/publ_seer/docs/igos/igorg.htm. lib.umich.edu/govdocs/intl.html, international agencies. library.northwestern.edu/govpub/resource/internet/igo.html. library.unt.edu/gpo/acir/ig_orgs.html. libci.sc.edu/bob/igos.htm. nt1.ids.ac.uk/eldis/eldishtm, general databases. nufic.nl/international-organizations loc.gov/rr/main/alcove9/internet/direct.html. odci.gov/cia/publications/factbook. oecd.wash.org, Book Directory of Non-Governmental Organizations Active in Sustainable Development. opm.gov/employ/internet/list.htm. pactpub.com, books about international organizations. psc-cfp.gc.ca/centers/empl_e.htm, international organizations that post employment information. psc-cfp.gc.ca/intpgm/epb7_e.htm, addresses of international organizations. renewfbooks.com. rpi.edu/department/cdc/society/soca.html. soar.de, Yearbook of International Organizations. techonline.com, Tech International, the international organization of CEOs. tsn.wes.army.mil, Tree Services Solicitation Network, links to government agencies and international organizations with procurement bids, etc. uia.org, uia.org/ext links/pub.php, international organization websites, Union of International Associations. uia.org, Union of International Associations, Yearbook of International Organizations. umn.edu/humanrts/links/igeolinks.html. unesco.org/general/eng/info-survey/db/dare.html. unsystem.org, Unsystem of Organizations. uchamber.org. worldaccess.com. worldbank.org. worldlee.org/catalog/225.html. International Affairs Development Organizations. American Society of Association Executives. 1575 IST Northwest. Washington, D.C. 20005-1168. 202-626-2723. 202-727-2750. 202-626-2742. Fax, 202-371-8825. asaenet.org. Information and Job Service. Canadian International Development Agency. Public Inquiries, Communications Branch. 200 Promenade du Portage. Hull, QCK1AOG4. 800-230-6349. 819-997-5006. 800-331-5018, TDD, TTY. 819-953-5023, TDD, TTY. Fax, 819-953-6088. info@acdi-cida.gc.ca. acdi-cida.gc.ca. Free booklet Opportunities in International Development for Canadians about working overseas with either profit or non-profit organizations. Center for International Education. U.S. Department of Education. 400 Maryland Avenue. SW. Washington, D.C. 20202. ed.gov. Free listing of international organizations who offer employment. Council on International Educational Exchange. C. 1030 Massachusetts Avenue. Number 200. Cambridge, Massachusetts 02138. 800-226-8624. ciae.org/travel.htm. Work abroad, work-study programs for students. Greater Washington Society of Association Executives. 1426 21st St. Northwest. Number 200. Washington, D.C. 20036. 202-429-9370. gwsae.org. Information and Job Service. Interaction, American Council for Voluntary International Action. 1717 Massachusetts Avenue. NW. 8th FL. Washington, D.C. 20036. 202-667-8227. Interaction.org. Coalition of Nonprofit Organizations for Overseas Employment. They publish a bi-weekly called Monday Developments. Inter Cristo, the Career and Human Resources Specialists. 19303 Fremont Avenue North. Seattle, Washington 98133. 800-251-7740. Jobleads.org. Jobsinaflash.org. Christian Job Placement Network Overseas. Office of Human Resources Management. United Nations. 1 UN. Plaza. NYC 10017. UN.org. Internship application for work overseas, geared for students. List of international organizations, no websites. African Development Bank. African Development Fund. Asian Development Bank. Caribbean Organization. Criminal Police Organization. Customs Cooperation Council. European Space Research Organization, ESRO. Food and Agriculture Organization. They. Great Lakes Fishery Commission. Inter-American Defense Board. Inter-American Development Bank. Inter-American Institute for Cooperation on Agriculture. Inter-American Statistical Institute. Inter-American Tropical Tuna Commission. Intergovernmental Committee for European Migration. Intergovernmental Maritime Consultative Organization. International Atomic Energy Agency. International Bank for Reconstruction and Development, World Bank. International Center for Settlement of Investment Disputes. International Civil Aviation Organization. International Coffee Organization. International Cotton Advisory Committee. International Development Association, World Bank. International Fertilizer Development Center. International Finance Corporation. International Food Policy Research Institute. International Hydrographic Bureau. International Institute for Cotton. International Joint Commission United States and Canada. International Labour Organization. They. International Maritime Satellite Organization. International Monetary Fund. International Pacific Halibut Commission. International Secretariat for Volunteer Service. International Telecommunication Union. International Telecommunications Satellite Organization. International Wheat Advisory Committee. Multinational Force and Observers. Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. Organization of African Unity, OAU. Organization of American States, Inc. Pan American Union. Pan American Health Organization, Inc. Pan American Sanitary Bureau, International Refugee Organization. South Pacific Commission. United International Bureau for the Protection of Intellectual Property. United Nations, the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Orgs. Universal Postal Union. World Health Organization. World Intellectual Property Organization. World Meteorological Organization.